what I was going to say. It's great here. I really love coming here because it's like Jools Holland or something, isn't it? It's like all sitting around and everybody, like, you know, everybody's showing their stuff. It's great.
Great. We have a little bit of time for some questions. So, questions from the floor.
What do we suggest endings? Happy endings?
Well, why not?
Yeah, this is what modern cinema's all about, focus groups, isn't it? So what do we want? What's the...
He opens a pigeon rehabilitation centre.
What's that?
Potentially good. You're out for the Doctor Who card.
Doctor Who card, yeah.
Yeah.
He finds one or something, or Doctor Who.
You get paid.
You get paid.
He sells one. You know what? I had a Star Wars figure. My house burned down in Liverpool, and all the stuff. I mean, we had these early Star Wars figures, you know, the Palatoy ones.
Yeah.
And I sold one. It was 750 quid.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Darth Vader.
But I've got that one.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, but it can't be worth 750 quid. I've got it in my parents' house. It was just really
in the box.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's got to be in the box, sealed. And anyway, so maybe that's what happens. Maybe he finds like a really cool collectible. Maybe the cards. What do you think? Or so that's not a good ending. Would you reckon? Any other ending? There must be another one, mustn't there? What could there be? What could happen? I don't know.
John Committee.
What about High Hitchcock ending where the pigeons come back get their revenge on
Let's come home.
and he's chased down the road by maniacal pigeons that peck him to death.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Pick them up and take them
Yeah,
flying
ones
off.
that have been spray painted, you know, they come back.
But it's the kind of film you could revisit every 12 years throughout your life.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. And then it'll be like,
Feature film at the end of it.
oh yeah, well just put them all together and make a big one, but yeah, no. I quite fancy a dance routine, don't you? I think it'd be good, I like that. The musical, Dad's Dead, the musical. Like, you know, it'd be cool, wouldn't it? Like, I think that'd be great. That's going to sell. Street Dance 2, bollocks to that. Dad's Dead, the dance phenomenon, isn't it? And it'll be well rad and respect and sick. That's what they say, isn't it? It'll be sick, you know. Anyway, so, yeah. So I'm going off on money here, aren't I?
That's brilliant. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen?
I don't know if it's a question or an observation. The two images that you, Martin, mentioned, the £20 note,
Well, it's actually a fiver, I'd misremembered.
but with the money that he replaces
with yeah, something
the
like that.
nude picture and the pigeons, and you talked about dark humour. I think the reason why they're also the images that stick in my head. And I think it's something to do, they're funny images, they're horrible and they're funny, and there's this dissonance that makes them very powerful. And I wonder whether that's an there must be an intentional thing, whether there's any
I try to be serious, but all goes wrong, doesn't it?
But they are very, I mean, it's profoundly dark,
It is dark, isn't it? But I suppose it was like when I made it, it was a bit like Mel Brooks said about comedy. You know, if you see a bell, you've got to make sure you ring it. You know what I mean? In a way, you can. There's no good half ringing it or half doing this. And when I was younger, I suppose I suppose I've got more mellow as I got older. Like the Ringo and stuff's a different type of film. That's really like just it's attacking you, isn't it? It's like I look back at it and think, bloody hell. I go, whoa, you know. But because I'm sort of older myself in a way, but the imagery, I don't know, but life is funny, isn't it? I mean, the most grim thing ever is funny, isn't it? Like somebody falling down a...
yeah.
You've got to laugh, haven't you?
Yeah. That's the thing, it's got someone falling down the stairs and hurting themselves. It's like, it's got the start of a joke.
So I'm laughing at this thing,
it's a horrible ending.
It's like
it's that. It's a joke that has a horrible ending, and that seems to be really powerful.
Yeah, maybe it's a Liverpool thing now, isn't it? It's always that thing of just having a bit of humour, it gets mixed in, doesn't it? I don't know.
I first heard you do a talk back in about 2006, and the thing that I still remember now is the fact you described some really quite disturbing things and then laugh. You seem to have this kind of even-handed approach to life in general, that you can just laugh at the funny aspect regardless of what the situation is. I find that fascinating, and it seems to be what infuses all your work.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that light and shade. My favourite films is definitely stuff like Midnight Cowboy or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or films that are funny and sad, and I like because that's life's like that, isn't it? And it's like drama and
but
comedy.
most people can't laugh at that. Most people, I find that really interesting that you can take the darkest material and see the funny side, even of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just what life is. I mean, it's just a bit potty, isn't it? But once again, you're the voice there. You've heard the voice. It's a start. It's only a starting point. But once it has something else against it, you know what I mean? Like I always go to somewhere. I went to Martin Prison on my bike, and I went there and looked outside, and I took a photograph of the sign outside Martin Prison, and it said HMP Liverpool. It says a 21st century community prison. You know what I mean? And that's what the sign says outside the prison. So once again, if you have that, with that juxtaposition, innit? What reality is funny, innit? I mean, that's just ridiculous. 21st century community prison. It's like they're all having I know. Why don't we have a tea party on Friday, you guys? Yeah, we're going to be a community. It's like, they're in prison for fuck's sake, what's going on? But I don't know, it's just me, but it makes me laugh,
Can I ask how you, because I didn't realise you were from Liverpool before I was but I've seen things you've done.
I must be really posh, Scouser.
You managed in London all these years. I mean, do you feel that you've still got loads of Liverpool in you?
Yeah, no, I do. I think, yeah.
Has it got stronger?
I think, I probably am a Cockney now, aren't I? I spend more of my life in London than Liverpool now, so. But you can never escape it, can you? It's the fuel that keeps you going as a creative person, isn't it? All that stuff,
Formative experiences.
I think it all stays with you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if those of us who come from other places and been in London like 20 odd years, it's sort of like you become more what you were a long time ago?
I don't know, I don't know, it's hard for me to say really, but I am now. Yeah, when I go back home they say, you're Cockney, mate. Cockney, I'm not thinking, but maybe I am, I don't know.
I can still detect a hint of Liverpool. Any more questions?
You said with The Ringer that you found it difficult to watch the film still.
Yeah.
What made you decide to make it then?
I don't know, I suppose it's just that thing of exploring something that means a lot to me, and I'm trying to understand it, isn't it? Trying to understand what happened. I mean, in a way, John's very different from my dad, and what happens in the film isn't like reality because there's things that are different in the narrative. But I'm still trying to understand it because it's like an event that's bigger than me. I don't really. But anyway, it's good doing the films because they sort of help to. I don't have to tell that story anymore. I mean, sometimes like the story with the Anti-Gladys I did, I don't have to tell the story anymore. I've sort of done the film. It's like, I feel like I've got a bit out of my system. I mean, one day, I've not seen me down for 6 or 7 years, but I'd love to, the film's sort of about reconciliation and not coming together, like the ships that pass in the night type thing almost, isn't it? It's just, they don't connect. But it'd be nice if maybe one day we did, I don't know, maybe one day you'll see it and that'd be cool. Or he may come and he may be enraged and beat me up, I don't know. But
anyway. Seem to have a more optimistic ending than the film.
Yeah, but it's the Hollywood dream, isn't it? It's like has anybody seen a film called The National Health by Jack Gold, about 1973? Really great film. It's a sort of about it's got Jim Dale's in it. And it was a National Theatre play, and it was basically had two parallel realities. One was about a hospital porter who was sort of like really like, how's it going? Yeah. Oh. And then you had this Dr. Kildare land. So you had Dr. Kildare universe where there's one great bit in the film where he's saving this guy and the beautiful nurse says, oh, you're such a genius, you've saved him. And he says, it's nothing, and then they save him. And then it cuts Bob Hoskins in it, and it cuts back to reality, and they've not saved him and he's dead. And it just shut it's national out, they shut the curtain. And then Jim Dale turns up with his fag and says, oh yeah, look at that. Says, you're going to tie a knot on his thingy, stop him from leaking. You know what I mean? It's like, they've gone like the parallel. It's a really great film. And with that one, I thought, well, it's about the Hollywood dream and cliches and be like almost a very realistic landscape. That's what I was trying to go for. The fact that they're happy at the end, but my reality is like sort of just like you can't really resolve because they're never going to. They're not really communicated. So there's not really an ending to the film really. But there's a phony end, it's the Hollywood ending. But so it seems optimistic. I think it is optimistic. One day he takes the family photos with him, and it takes a bit of it away. So so yeah, it's funny though. It's funny doing something about you. Yeah, it's a funny thing to do, to examine something like that. But I've done it now, and I'm over it. Hey.
Right. Well, I think it's time to wrap up our Chris Shepherd part of the evening.
Cheers,
Can I
thanks,
say thank you so much
Hey,
indeed?
no,
Thank you so much.